Police are hoping you can help them track down two people involved in an aggravated assault at an auto parts store on the northeast side. Happened earlier this month at the AutoZone on Pear and Beidle. We're told employees were closing the store for the night when a man and woman arrived. The man was then led inside by an employee as the woman waited outside. The man made a purchase and left the store as the woman outside started to photograph some of the employees' vehicles. When police asked what she was doing, the man pulled out a gun, according to police. Call Crime Stoppers if you have any information. That number is 224-STOP.
And topping your morning headlines, the search for the possible suspects in a deadly shooting in Pittsburgh is still underway.
That's right. Police believe multiple shooters are responsible for the holiday weekend violence there. And we're learning more about a shooting in Boston and two mass shootings in the state of South Carolina.
CNN's Cole Higgins reports.
In Pittsburgh early Sunday morning, a mass shooting breaking out at a large party held at an Airbnb.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, here we are Easter, and we have multiple families, two that won't see a loved one.
Two people under the age of 18 are dead, 8 others wounded by gunfire. Police say as many as 200 people were at the party, many of them underage.
How can you even have a holiday when your child was involved in something traumatic like this?
More than 90 rounds from multiple guns were fired inside and outside of the home, according to the police chief.
This goes back to having too many guns, too many illegal guns on the streets.
In Columbia, South Carolina, one man is now in custody after a mass shooting at a mall on Saturday.
We didn't know who was shooting, what direction it was coming from. And it was really terrifying.
14 people were injured, at least 9 of whom were shot. 5 others hurt while attempting to flee from the chaos. To the south of Columbia in Hampton County, 9 people were shot early Sunday morning at a nightclub. The investigation being led by the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. And in Boston, 2 people are in critical condition after a shooting early Sunday in the Chinatown neighborhood. Boston police say 3 suspects were taken into custody after the vehicle they were fleeing in crashed. The investigation into that shooting is ongoing. I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
And today, President Joe Biden could restart the sale of onshore leases for oil and gas drilling on federal lands, breaking one of his 2020 campaign promises. 144,000 acres of public lands will be up for lease in 9 states. The president did sign an order pausing the sale of new leases when he came into office. However, a federal judge in Louisiana said they had to go forward. The decision comes as gas prices spike out of control and the White House faces political pressure to find ways to supercharge domestic production.
There's no way for Biden to meet his campaign climate promises as well as his international commitments unless he actually addresses leasing on public lands. And the first step is stopping new leasing.
The Department of Interior insists they work to raise the royalties of the plots for the first time to nearly 50%, also promising to include the input of tribes and take environmental concerns into account like never before.
Just a reminder, today is the tax deadline. This year, filers will have to factor in the child tax credit, the third stimulus check, and new rules about reporting income from cryptocurrency. But if you need more time, do not worry. You can request an extension through October 17th, according to the IRS. If you're still waiting for the IRS to process your 2020 taxes, just know you can still file last year's. We have more information on KSAT.com.
New York City employers are preparing to put pay ranges on job listings as the new law takes effect. The goal of the law, which takes effect on May 15th, is to even the playing field for job applicants by requiring salary information on all job listings. The law designed to narrow the gender pay gap and provide more workplace transparency. However, some employers say they are not ready and need to spend more time setting compensation ranges for every job title. The transparency could potentially upset existing employees when they find out new hires could be making more.
This Easter weekend, one of the busiest travel weekends of the spring, the TSA screening millions of people at airports across the country.
Many airlines struggling to stay on schedule. Here's ABC's Elwin Lopez.
Travelers taking advantage of easing COVID-era restrictions and flooding the nation's roads and airports. TSA reporting one of the busiest travel weekends since 2019. The number of travelers screened at airports across the country nearing pre-pandemic levels. Millions on the move, reuniting with their families both across the U.S.
What was it like to be able to be with family during this time?
Always great. When you get a chance to go, you need to go.
And overseas, Liat and her children are back in Atlanta after visiting family in Israel.
It was fun to see my family again.
But a nationwide pilot shortage is making it hard for airlines to keep up with demand. JetBlue is slashing flights by up to 10% to ensure passengers face fewer delays and cancellations.
There aren't enough people who want to be pilots. We have 2 years of pent-up demand. People want to travel, whether it's to see family and friends or take a vacation, and they are out there.
That was ABC's Owen Lopez reporting. The holiday rush far from over as more people make their way home today.
And time now, 4:37 and 71 degrees for now.